saying that 29 of the top 30 life insurance companies in America are technically insolvent if you strip out one accounting trick. So that means if you're out there, you're listening, you have a life insurance policy, an annuity, a pension, the money backing that claim might not actually exist. And I think just starting off there, how did you back into this claim?
So the private credit part that everyone's talking about, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, I quickly realized Athene is a big part of this. We kind of all knew that. So I'm looking into, wait a minute, how much is this actually levered? And they say in their consolidated equity, it's only, they say they have $13 billion of equity. They say it's how many assets? I don't know, 20 times levered, 24 times levered. But you're trusting Bermuda holdcos and you're trusting Bermuda courts. In reality of what we control, it's 69 times levered. So I started diving into this, and then all of a sudden, Tom, forensic accountant, went on the Eisman podcast, and I was like, holy shit, this is worse than I thought. So it took a fire and made it into an inferno. And I start just really diving in because I got business, I got a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on this, make sure this gets out. Then Tom started saying, hey, I really appreciated what you wrote up in the letter to Johnson. And it's actually so much worse than you thought. And at that point, I was like, no, I can't do any worse. I can't do any worse. But we've been diving into it, and people have got to understand, look up Tom. What's his Twitter? I don't think he has a Twitter.
His last name's Gober, though. Gober.
Yeah. Tom Gober. You can look him up online. He's got journalists that have covered him, but journalists write everything like super milk toasty, And I'm a Substack author. I got no sponsor. I'm like, this is driving me insane. I'm going to say exactly how I feel about it, and then actually tone it down, because what I really want to say would probably get me sued.
Well, I mean, I think to like paint the clear picture for anybody listening out there. I mean, I caught that episode between Steve Eisman and Tom Gober. So Tom Gober, as you mentioned, forensic accountant out of Mississippi. He's been cited many times, has been part of FBI trials doing forensic accountant, uncovering fraud. He was on Steve Eisman's podcast. Steve Eisman, the guy from The Great Financial Crisis. Steve Carell played him in The Big Short. And the thing that caught my attention in that episode, and something that you've been saying, what you alluded to in the open, is that everybody's focused on private credit, looking at what's happening with Blue Owl, all these different funds, basically gating redemptions. And they're saying, oh, this is the big problem. But I think what Tom and Steve discuss and how you describe it is private credit is just the fuse. The big bomb is the insurance underlying it. And what Tom really highlighted on the Eisman podcast, and what you've been writing about, is a lot of these private equity companies have acquired life insurance companies, basically trying to replicate the Warren Buffett style of investing. And they've been rolling a lot of those premiums into relatively risky, illiquid investments that have put those policies in a bad position. Is that a correct characterization?
Right. That's a great start. They took the Warren Buffett playbook. Makes sense. You get an insurance balance sheet and you start taking a little bit of risk. You cannot get outsized returns. It can work well for policyholders and shareholders. Warren Buffett himself, everyone's happy. They took the Warren Buffett playbook and said, let's make it evil.